This is the Six Figure Chick Podcast, Episode 8, featuring Jackie V Harden, #1 best-selling author of the 21-day weight release journey, Create the Best Version of You. She's also owner of Life of Victory Enterprises, a strategic life coach, inspirational speaker, and a six-figure single mom. Please welcome Jackie V Harden. Hey, buckle up, queens. It's time for the Six Figure Chick Podcast, the one and only podcast made to teach Black women like you how to make a six-figure income. Whether you are a high-performing woman, professional, new business owner, author, speaker, or even a mom, you're sure to pick up golden nuggets of actionable advice when you listen to the Six Figure Chick Podcast. Each week, we will deliver hard-hitting, no-nonsense, keep it real topics about being a Black woman in America and the girl, hush your mouth we deal with. We're going to talk about this
and that,
and we're going to talk about everything else that has held us back. No more, queens. It's time to hear from real people
with real life
and real talk. So grab your best girlfriend and get ready for this ride. Hi, I'm Cherie Griffith-Dunn.
And I'm Nyoka Wright-Smith.
And this is the Six Figure Chick weekly podcast to help you win at work, in your business, at home, and succeed at life. The year of the Black woman is shaping out to be one powerful year. We are excited to bring enriched content about Black people, especially Black women who are pioneers and trailblazers of this great country. Today, we will continue our discussion about Black women, Latina women, and Native women who all have empowered and inspired us. We want to thank all of our listeners. We truly appreciate your feedback and ratings of our podcast. If you would please do us one favor and go over to YouTube and click the like and subscribe button, we greatly appreciate you.
Yes, please go over to YouTube. We want you to like, we want you to subscribe, smash that like button. We want you all to listen into our podcast and just have this experience with us. Also, we want you to experience our virtual green room. Okay, you're going to enjoy this. Please like and share. That's what we ask you to do. That's what we love for you to do. So thank you for tuning in to our podcast today.
You know, Nyoka, this week has certainly shaped out to be another eye-opening week filled with amazing women of color who are out there doing their thing. We've had some phenomenal guests on the podcast doing great things, and today is no exception. We have an amazing author with us today. One of my girlfriends, Jackie Harden. She is the owner of Life of Victory Enterprises. She is a best-selling author, a strategic life coach, an inspirational speaker. And she has over 30 years as she has been transforming lives for over 30 years from being a struggling single mom to going into the six-figure professional world. And don't forget, she is an amazing entrepreneur. For decades, Jackie has worked hard as a single mother. She spent years working 3 jobs to make ends meet. How many of you guys can relate to that? All while being enrolled in school and leading different parent organizations. But what people didn't realize, behind her smile was her internal battle, which has become an incredible testimony. That testimony led Jackie to write her first book called When a Lie Becomes the Truth. a
Mm.
personal memoir about uncovering deeply held family secrets that involve abuse, lies, and deception. In the process of discovering her true identity, Jackie struggled with the guilt and the shame associated with abuse, drug addiction, and all other forms of self inflicted pain. The book chronicles Jackie's journey of self discovery. She went from pain, you guys, to creating life of prosperity.
Mm.
Jackie has dedicated herself to empowering women by helping them discover their own truth, to move forward beyond the pain of the past, to create the life of their dreams, which has led to her second book. And we're going to talk about this one today, the 21-day weight release journey. Create the best version of you, mind, body, and soul. Jackie is passionate about working with women and girls to help them transform their circumstances so they can lead lives of integrity, authenticity, and unconditional love, thereby positively impacting families, their communities, and the world. Jackie is a woman of faith who loves listening to music, dancing, and speaking time with her family. Please welcome my girlfriend, Jackie Harden.
Hello, hello.
We're so happy
Well,
to have you, Jackie.
Thank you for having me.
awesome. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to jump into these questions, to learn about Miss Jackie, to just hear about your experience and see how you've overcome a lot of your challenges, through life. And also, how did you get to becoming this amazing writer? So, my first question to you, Jackie, is when did you first realize you wanted to be a writer?
That's a very good question. I was an English major actually in college, undergrad, and I've always had a passion for reading. And it's through reading stories about other people that I realized that other people go through challenges and have overcome. And I started writing a long time ago, not thinking that I would one day actually be an author. But I got the bug, I would say, early in life, maybe in my early 30s. And I was thinking that I need to share my story. Like, if people really knew my story, they would better understand. Like, I wanted people to understand me, and I knew that writing was that vehicle. But like I said, I really did not think I would ever actually get it done. I took notes, and it just seemed like something that was far off in the future. And then finally in 2014, I would say, I got very serious about the writing process and pulled my notes together. And my first book was actually published in 2016. So I can't say that I always wanted to be a writer, but it did happen quite naturally.
Awesome. Awesome. So, how long did it take you to write that book?
Well, like I said, I had notes through the years, and in 2014, I got serious about writing it, and I released the book in 2016. So
Okay.
I would say it's a 2-year period, 2-year process for the first book. This more recent book that I've written, the 21-day weight release challenge. It's actually a
Mhm.
journey, the 21-day weight release journey. And I will tell you why I said challenge, because initially I had done several Facebook lives. I was doing this back in the fall, providing topics of information about releasing the weight, not necessarily physical weight. Many women,
Mhm.
when you think of weight, most women, the first thing they think of is physical weight. But I submit that the physical weight, usually in many cases, is the result of other types of weight that we carry, whether it's debt or doubt or chaos and confusion in our lives. So I said, well, let's go on this journey and challenge ourselves to release the weight. And the
Mm.
feedback was very positive, hence my deciding to create a book about the journey.
Wow, it's interesting that you said that because I was just about to ask that question. Is it physical weight or, what type of weight were you referring to? So it's interesting to know because yes, a lot of people carry around so many baggages, so many hurt, so many pain, so many struggle, so much of life that goes on in their day to day that they carry around. So this is very interesting that you are sharing some light as to how to shed those weights.
Indeed. And
So,
so it's a mind, body, soul experience. So
mhm,
start with the mind because as a man or woman thinketh, so is he or she. So it
mhm,
starts in the mind. And I talk about those things that can hold us back, the self sabotage, the
mhm,
negative thoughts. I see right there, Cherie has behind her mindset is everything. Get your mind right. So we go through a process of focusing on what we're thinking about. Then the body, those things that we think about manifest themselves in our physical being. And we really do have control of our physical body. We really do. And
mhm,
I talk about that and show exactly what I mean by that and how to really take control of your physical body. And then
mhm,
into the soul, right? That spiritual journey. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. So
mhm,
we go through that process, mind, body, and soul. And it's a 21-day journey because it's said that it takes 21 days to actually create a habit for anything to become a habit.
right.
But in reality, the more you do anything, the longer you repeat any process, the more likely it's going to become a way of life. So I not
Mhm,
only encourage people to do this for 21 days, but do it again and again until it's second nature to you.
mhm,
Just
mhm,
change that thought process to know that you have what it takes to accomplish any goal, any anytime.
wow, that's powerful. So, Jackie, what does that look like when you say attacking the mind? You know, how does someone really, what do you call that, transform or conform? Is it transforming or conforming that we're doing? Which is it that we're doing really?
It's a transformation. You change your thoughts, you transform your life. Transform your
Okay.
thoughts, transform your life. As a man or woman thinketh, so
Mm-hmm.
he or she.
Right.
Before you will produce anything, it's a thought. Thoughts become things, right?
Mm-hmm.
In every case, the thought comes first before it's manifest in this realm.
Mm-hmm.
So through a process of daily affirmations, through a process
Okay.
of learning how to override the old. So I actually talk about cassette tapes. I might be dating myself, right? But there was a time when cassette tapes were popular. And with the cassette tape, you can override the music because we used to record from the radio, or if you had records, you could record from a record over some old music. So
Mm-hmm.
you didn't necessarily have to buy the new tape, but you could certainly override the old music so that you had the new music. It's very similar within our own minds and within our mind and our spirit. So that old tape of I'm not good enough,
Mm-hmm.
overridden. I am good enough. I am worthy. So as you say that to yourself, you are rewiring your subconscious mind. I am worthy. I am brilliant. I can do whatever I set out to accomplish. So as you train your brain, and that's the way I stated in the book, as you train your brain, retrain your brain with the positive information, that's who you become. And as soon as that negative thought, and sometimes if we're human, that doubt could pop up. Oh, but wait a minute. I know I'm worthy. I know I'm capable. I know I can do it. Even before an interview, oh, I hope everything goes well. Of course, it's going to go well. I am worthy. I have what it takes. That's the information that we need to continue to tell ourselves over and over again. So
Mhm.
it becomes second nature. It is who we become.
So, from what I'm hearing, because, looking at someone who has, gone through trauma, really, really heavy trauma, to get to that space of saying, I'm worthy, I'm better than who I was, or, because how do you really get one from that position to now believing? I know you're saying that it's just by repetition, right? An affirmation, you get up in the morning and you may speak something over yourself, but how is that person is so really 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 registering it? Is it really transforming that person if they don't believe it? So how do you get them to really believe that? What experience do they have to really go through in order to change that limiting belief from believing that they're unworthy to I'm worthy, I am that person who deserves better? Or, you understand what I'm saying? Because they've been through so much hell, and they believe that they're nothing, they're worthless, they're useless, they're whatever. And some of them even want to take their own lives, right? So to get them from that position to listen, you're valuable, your life is worthwhile. How do you really get them there? You know?
That's a very good question. And having traveled this journey myself, I can tell you that it's a process. So you're not, I didn't wake up one day coming out of the traumatic experiences that I've had to be the woman that I am now. But I will tell you, I wish I had had this information a lot sooner in my life to have made the transition, the transformation a lot sooner. So I
Mhm.
will tell you that I did have counseling. I have had therapy. And I currently even have a coach. I do believe in coaching. I do believe in having a support system that will help you through the rough spots. But as I outlined in my first book, When a Lie Becomes the Truth, what really pushed me to change, or was the impetus for my wanting to change, wanting to do better and be better, was my daughter. I did not want that cycle of abuse to continue. I didn't know how it was going to change. And I tell the story that when I realized that I was pregnant with my daughter, I began to pray over her life and I asked God to help me to become a good mother. I promised God and myself that I would do the best I could to be the best mother that I could. And so it took a lot. Yes, I was a suicide. In my book, I talk about it. I was suicidal. I have had my bouts with addiction. I have been physically and sexually abused. And I can say that smiling now because guess what? I'm grateful for it all now because all of it has created this woman that you see here today. The challenges of life, as we conquer, as we overcome, as we prevail, actually build character. So I can speak to the situations of life, the challenges of life, and know that I'm fully equipped to face it. Because the same God that I believed in back then, when I didn't see a way or know a way, is the same God that I'm praying to right now. And so it does require a desire. In order to change, you've got to want to change, right? The desire comes first. And those thoughts, the thought that there just might be a way that I can get better. And as you take one step, God will take two.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a living testimony. When
Wow.
the, when it seems like there's no way, when you can stretch out on faith and just say, God, if you would just help me to find,
Mhm.
there's always that ram in the bush. God will provide a comforter and he will make a way. We've got to be in action because faith without works is dead. We've got to be about our business of getting better. And it may seem like there is no way, but that desire is where it starts. And as I said, having a big enough why will always help you to create the how. I had no idea how I was going to become a good mother. And I've made a lot of mistakes. I always say my biggest blessing was honesty. I
Mhm.
wanted the truth. Like I said, my journey of self-discovery really was about finding the truth about my own identity. My name was changed without discussion or debate. My mother did not raise me, and the abuse that I was subjected to was actually the result of a relationship that she was in. She brought a man into her life who ultimately took advantage of me. And so we tend to think, that it's something in us. It's our fault. There was a time when I felt ashamed and guilty, dirty as it were. And we do have a tendency to take it all in as if it is our fault, as if it's never going to change. I don't know about you, but I was stuck in that place. Oh, this is never going to change. I'm not worthy. Nobody sees me. Nobody hears me. It was a very dark, hopeless place. I don't know if anybody can relate to that. But like I said, when when I became pregnant and realized that I was going to bring this life into the world, the life, because I only have one daughter and I only brought one life into the world. I'm not going to say that was the only time that I got pregnant. I'm just going to keep it very real with you.
Mhm.
'Cause I inflicted a lot of pain on myself because I did not feel worthy. The pain that I endured actually showed me that I made me feel, let me put it that way, made me feel that I was not valuable or worthy.
So, Jackie, let's stay there for a moment. If someone is listening and they're at that place where they don't see hope for themselves, is there an exercise or something some advice that you can give to that individual to give them the hope, the glimmer, the ability to live and one more day to go the right path and of getting the help that they need?
Reach out, reach out. I will give my information. Reach out. I will be more than happy to forward people to who can be of best support. There are some situations that really do require a therapist, a licensed therapist. There are other situations where counseling or coaching would suffice. There's no cookie cutter answer. Every
Mm-hmm.
individual has a unique set of circumstances that need to be addressed in that manner.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing that. That's
Thank
beautiful.
you so much. Jackie, you're such a powerhouse. Oh my gosh. I truly, truly appreciate you just being so open and so forward, to talk about your experience because there's so many people who have gone through what you have gone through and they're scared even to now. Some of them, unfortunately die in their graves, go to their graves with this, with this hurt, with this pain, and never able to release it, never able to shake it, never able to, you know, um, overcome. And so they, it died with them. So I'm so grateful that you are living proof that, listen, you don't have to remain hurt. You don't have to remain in that state. You can overcome. You can overcome. There is a way, there is hope, so to speak. There is hope for individuals who may have unfortunately gone through situations like this. So thank you so much for sharing your experience. You're truly a blessing. So I have one other question for you. Would you say that, do you think it's possible? Because I know you said you have a daughter, you've brought one life into this world, but how do you interact with her? Or better yet, would you think it's possible for a young child to be coached about being abused? Should it happen? Should you have that discussion?
First of all, I think it's very important to empower young people to speak up. We live
Mm-hmm.
in a society where a lot of this gets brushed under the rug. Statistically, 1 in 3 girls will be sexually assaulted or abused as a young person. So there are 3 of us here. So it's you look to your right, you look to your left. It's one. It's either the person on your right, the person on your left, or it's you, or it could be all 3 in this particular forum. You the statistics, the numbers are just startling,
Mm.
right? But how many people actually talk about it? And these are just numbers that are recorded from people who have come forward.
Mm.
Oftentimes it's brushed under the rug. And I believe it's been said, it may sound cliche, that we're as sick as our secrets, but that toxic information, the trauma that we stuff and we hold on to can literally make us sick.
Mm.
So how long are you going to suffer in silence when you know that you deserve to live full out, to be freed of this burden that you're carrying? It's not your fault. First of all, it's not the fault of the person who's been abused, regardless to how people may make you feel. Oh, don't talk about it, keep it quiet. Families want you to save face. I talk about that too, saving face, making it all look good when you're suffering in silence. You deserve to release that weight. So
Mm-hmm.
the first thing I would say is talk about it. I told my daughter early on that if she came to me, because we can't be with our children 24 hours a day, right?
Right.
Right.
That if something were to happen and you come to me and I don't respond the way that you want or need me to respond, tell it until you get satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, there is no cookie cutter recipe for what an individual may need in terms of support services. But it starts by having the conversation. It starts by telling someone who can come to your aid and point you in the right direction so that you can get the help that you need to fully recover.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for answering that question. Um, I'm just so, thrilled just to have you here speaking about your experience, just talking about your experience, because I know that there's a lot of people listening. A lot of people will be listening to this podcast who have had that journey. And just to hear your recommendation as to what they need to do, speak out. Do not remain silent. Talk about it. Yes, it may be embarrassing. Yes, it may be, scary, because there may have been threats. Don't tell anyone, or else, and I'm talking about for the younger ones, who may have suffered this also. Everyone in general, not just the younger ones, but everyone, right? Because adults are threatened also not to speak, because what will happen, the threats that will come at such individuals. But find someone, find somebody to just say it to. Do not remain quiet. Do not just be silent about it. Talk about it. So, thank you for the recommendation, Jackie. You are a phenomenal woman indeed. I can't wait to hear more about your book. 21 days, you said. What is it called?
One
Remind me.
21-day journey to create, I'm sorry, 21-day weight release journey. Create the best life. You've got me all twisted up.
Go ahead and show us what does the cover sheet look like?
Wait, I got it. 21-day weight release journey. Create the best version of you, mind, body, and soul.
There you
I
go.
love it.
Hey, you guys, when you're talking about heavy topics, you're going deep and personal about who you be, it can trip you up, So we want you to realize that this is real talk, right?
Yes.
This is
Yes.
real talk.
And
Okay.
what came to mind when Nayoka was talking about, speaking up and speaking out because you may be threatened. There are adult women who are in abusive relationships and feel very frightened about coming forward because of what may be happening at home. But there is always someone that you can reach out to outside of the home. I don't want to put anyone in harm's way. But certainly, if you reach out to someone outside of the home, someone who you can trust, someone who's not going to make your situation worse, but who will help you get to safety, that's who you need to speak to. It's
Mhm.
not just young people. There are so many women who find themselves in abusive relationships and just don't know where to turn and how to get out of it. So please reach out. There's a lot of hotlines that you can call.
Mhm.
I would be more than willing to help, direct people to where they need to go. There is help out here for you.
Wonderful. Jackie,
Absolutely.
thank you so much.
Yeah. Jackie, can you talk to us? So you just did an event called Vulnerable and Victorious, right? Can you talk to us about the type of programming that you're actually bringing to people? I mean, because I think people really need to understand that you're cultivating a movement around love and feeling safe and sharing your story in a safe place. But you're also giving them coaching and guidance during this time, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for mentioning that. So yesterday, as a matter of fact, we held a workshop. My daughter and I co-hosted, co-facilitated the workshop entitled Vulnerable and Victorious, Celebrating Our Womanhood. And as women, we are vulnerable. I like to think that that's our superpower, our ability to be vulnerable. And through our vulnerability, we find a way to emerge victorious. There's nothing more powerful, in my opinion, than a woman who has stood her ground, who has overcome obstacles, and is now in a position to reach back and help others. And so in this workshop, we talked about uh, what it means to be vulnerable and how that has related to the victories that we've experienced. And we talked about the power within women individually and just how much more powerful we are collectively. And I promise to keep the space sacred, and so I will not share what was divulged in confidence, but I will tell you that the spirit was powerful. The
Mm,
God's presence was in the place, and it was a very powerful, emotional experience. And I want to believe transformative in terms of the way that we see each other as women. And so, as we share our experiences in love, in relationships, in business, and we're honest with one another, we can help others not make the same mistakes that we've made. We might make other mistakes, but it doesn't have to be those that we've shared about. And it's very uplifting, encouraging, and empowering. It was an
mm.
awesome experience.
Wow.
Look
Wow.
forward to doing more work in that regard as well. Very, very powerful.
Okay. So then how do you, because I'm sure with an environment like that, an atmosphere like that, it took a lot. Emotionally, it had to take a lot, because I know when women come together and they start just sharing their experience and stuff like that, there's a lot of emotion in the room. So how do you revive yourself from that? How do you gain your strength, back from pouring out so much? Now, how do you refill?
But I think that everything that flowed during this workshop, it flowed organically and naturally. One of
Mhm.
the women I actually said, and I can say this without it compromising any type of confidentiality, but her feedback was, I've heard people say this is a safe space. You can share openly, and this is a safe space. And she said, I never really felt it like I felt it in that workshop. You could just feel safe, the genuine auth- authenticity of everyone in the group. Um, and so it was a journey. It was a journey. So we went deep and we came out joyfully. We came out joyfully and powerfully, with a commitment to stay connected. And I'm here, and I definitely made that point very clear as well, that anyone who wanted to continue the conversation, or if anything came up that they wanted to talk more deeply about, reach out. I'm here. And so yeah, we went deep, but we ended joyfully and
Awesome.
and powerfully. Yeah.
That's
That is
wonderful.
exciting. I'm glad that people have the opportunity to have programs like this in their life, right? Just like you were saying, if you had this information and this support when you were coming up and going through what you were going through, perhaps it wouldn't have been the way that it happened, right? It would have happened a little differently, probably wouldn't have lasted as long. So I'm just so, glad that we have these amazing programs out there and powerful women, you guys, stepping
Mm,
up to take the lead, creating a movement to really help women of color go to that next level, get unstuck, become unblocked, and truly live all out, right? So Jackie, when is your book going to be released?
On Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday. Can I say the date?
Yes. Yeah.
March 24th. The book will be published and released, and I am having a launch party. So I'm excited to share more details about the book, how you can get the book, and yeah, Wednesday, March 24th.
So tell them, how can they get their hands on a copy of the book? Can they pre-order it? What can they do?
Well,
How can they get this amazing book?
Well, there will be a link available. So on the 24th, the book will be available for free. I'm actually offering it for free, and the link will be made available during the launch party. After that, you will be able to purchase the book via Amazon.
Great. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to get my hands on a copy of this book, you guys. I saw the prelim, the cover, and it's absolutely beautiful. It is life changing. Absolutely life changing. So, Jackie, thank you so much for being here. Can you tell everyone, how can they find you? How can they get in touch with you?
Via my website, JackieHarden.com. That's JackieHarden.com. You can also find me on Facebook at Jackie Harden Life Coach, and via Instagram, Jackie V, middle initial V for Victoria, Harden. Yes.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Nayoka?
Can I give you a sneak peek of what the cover looks like?
Absolutely.
So
What?
this is the cover of the book, and it will be available on the 24th of March. So I am really excited to share this work with everyone. And thank you both for this opportunity. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate being here.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much for being here. Well, as always, we just want to, say truly a heartfelt thank you from the bottom of our heart to you, Jackie, for taking this time to be with us and to share with us on our podcast. Yes, yes, yes. My name is Nyoka Wright Smith, president of NAWS Coaching and Consulting LLC, and I am a business wealth expert. I help my clients by empowering them with the knowledge, the skills, the guidance, and recommendation they need to help them build wealth. So please tune in. We are here to give you all the juicy nuggets that you need to empower yourself, empower your life, and be a better you. What about you, Cherie?
Nayoka, I always love when you introduce yourself. You're building wealth, teaching others how to build wealth. That is what we're all about, you guys, dropping in these nuggets to help you become a well-rounded six-figure chick. Hello now. I'm Cherie Griffith Dunn, your business growth coach, motivational speaker, and #1 best-selling international author. Founder and CEO of High Performing Women Academy, the place where you belong. We're now accepting applications. Go to hpwacademy.com. I'm your gluten-free foodie, mom of 6 sons, married to the love of my life, and obsessed with traveling. And just to let you know, if you are looking to command authority and jumpstart your business, stay tuned because I have a new program that will be coming out. Thank you so much for joining us. Please be sure to subscribe on YouTube. Go and give us your subscribe. We're working hard to get to 1,000 followers. So please go and subscribe there. And also, don't forget, you can now find us on Pandora. We're on iTunes, Google Podcasts, iHeart, you name it, Spotify. We're there, making sure we bring you the amazing content that you so love. Thank you for tuning in. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
This has been another episode of the Six Figure Chick podcast. Please be sure to join us next time for some more hard-hitting career and business advice. To stay connected, follow me on Instagram at Cherie Griffith Dunn. And if you would like to be a part of the baddest club around, join High Performing Women Academy, the place where you belong. Go to hpwacademy.com. And as always, if you like what you hear, come back and next time bring a friend. If you're interested in sponsoring, donating, or even advertising your business with me, please contact me at connect@CherieGriffithDunn.com.